Dear students, in this lecture I'll be discussing multiplication of vectors. Multiplication of vectors can be performed using either dot product or cross product. Dot product is also known as a scalar product and cross product is also known as vector product. Let us take one by one. First, let us talk about the dot product. Okay, so here in order to perform dot product, I'm taking two vectors. Okay, I'm taking first vector as A, okay, and the second vector as B, and these two vectors are separated by an angle theta here. Okay, so now this vector A is nothing but it is magnitude of A and its unit vector along the given direction A. Similarly, vector B is represented as magnitude of vector B and the direction along B. These are some arbitrary directions that I have taken. Now, after knowing this, what we do? Let us drop a perpendicular. Okay, let us drop a perpendicular from the tip of vector A to the B vector. Okay, so then what exactly we will get is we will get the length of vector A along B vector. That means, suppose if you just imagine like this is one line is there and we are going to fall some light here. So the shadow of this vector A is going to fall along the B vector. Okay, so and that is the magnitude of vector A along the B direction. Okay, next, now once we drop this perpendicular, so what we are getting? So we are getting a right angle triangle. This is a 90 degrees angle, and now this is an acute angle. This is an acute angle theta, right? Now, if you look into this, we can write what is the opposite side, adjacent side, and hypotenuse side for this right angle triangle. So let us take that. This is the hypotenuse side, this is the opposite side, and this is my adjacent side. So in this right angle triangle, we have hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. Let us make this length as the opposite here. Okay, just put this is the opposite side length, this is the adjacent side length. Okay, and this is the hypotenuse side. So now when you just write here sine of the angle theta, if I write sine of the angle theta, what I can get here? Sine theta is equal to, it is opposite by hypotenuse, right? So we know the hypotenuse side is going to be the magnitude of A itself. Okay, so I can write here it's a magnitude of A because the same length, this length is going to be my hypotenuse side, but we don't know what is this opposite side. Using this relation, I can find out an equation for opposite. Opposite is equal to magnitude of A into sine of the angle theta. Similarly, if I define cos theta here, if I define cos theta, so let us see, cos theta is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. So that gives me adjacent by, what is the hypotenuse? Once again, it is the length of vector A itself. So it is magnitude of A. So now, using this relation, I can get the adjacent side as magnitude A into cos theta. So now I got the opposite side and the adjacent side. Now let me just write here. This adjacent, I got it as magnitude of A into cos theta, and this opposite is magnitude of A into sine theta. Okay, so now what we need to do, so it is a dot product. So dot product means it is a scalar. That means a scalar quantity doesn't possess any direction, but it has only the magnitude. Now what we did, we took this vector A along B direction, and there is a magnitude of this B also. Now if I multiply the magnitude of B with the magnitude of vector A along B direction, I can get the dot product. So what is that? So here I have magnitude of vector B along B direction is this, and the magnitude of vector A along B direction is this. Okay, so if I multiply these two things, I can get the dot product of two vectors, that is vector A dot vector B, okay, which is equal to magnitude of A into cos theta into magnitude of B. So that can be rewritten as magnitude A magnitude B into cos theta. Okay, so this is the expression for finding the dot product of two vectors. Now let us move on to the cross product. Okay, so when we look into the cross product, again I'll take two vectors here. So let me just take vector A here. This is my vector A, and I'm taking vector B here. Okay, so as in the earlier case, so they are separated by some angle which is called as theta. Now what I'm going to do, instead of dropping a perpendicular, what I do, I will drop a perpendicular onto the third axis, thinking that there is some light passed from here and the shadow of this vector A is going to fall somewhere here. Okay, so let us do that. I will just take, for representing that, I'll take a third axis, this. Okay, so now let us drop a perpendicular from the tip of vector A onto the third axis, that what we have developed here. Now looking into this structure, we can say that since this is theta, okay, so this angle also will become theta. Okay, so this is also theta because they are opposite angles, vertically opposite angles or z angles. So now this one is 90 degrees, this is forming a right angle triangle. Now if I just write the sides in this right angle triangle, I can tell this is the hypotenuse side, this is the opposite side, and this is the adjacent side. Okay, so that forms, this is the length of the adjacent side and this is the length of opposite side. Okay, now let us define what is sine theta and cos theta here. So if I define sine theta, I can get here the same thing, opposite by hypotenuse. Okay, so which is going to give me opposite by magnitude of vector A. You can notice that magnitude of vector A is the hypotenuse side. So then from this we can write opposite is equal to the same thing, that is magnitude A sine theta. And if I define cos theta here, if I define cos theta, so I can write cos theta is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse, which is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse is magnitude of A. Okay, so now from this I can write adjacent is equal to magnitude of A into cos theta. Now let us write it here. Okay, so opposite I am getting it as magnitude of A into sine theta, adjacent I am getting it as magnitude of adjacent I am getting it as magnitude of A cos theta. Right, now what I have to do here, in the cross product always it says that, so the product of any two vectors lying on one plane, let us imagine this vector A and vector B are lying on this paper. Okay, so that is lying on one plane. Now the resultant vector will always come perpendicular to that, because it's a cross product, the resultant will always appear perpendicular to that. That means either it should enter into the board or it should come out of the board. So that is a normal or perpendicular direction to both vector A and vector B. So now if I write that, so what I can get here, the product of these two vectors, vector A and vector B, if I write vector A cross vector B is equal to magnitude of vector A, okay, magnitude of vector A, that is this one, okay, and magnitude of vector B. So what is the magnitude of vector B? So because you know B is equal to magnitude B along B direction, this is magnitude of A sine theta along some arbitrary, say I can write it as some A, some arbitrary variable Z direction, because this is unknown direction. So now if I am taking this and this magnitudes, okay, that is magnitude A into magnitude B sine theta. I can write this is magnitude B, this is magnitude A sine theta. Together I can write magnitude A, magnitude B sine theta, and the resultant is always perpendicular to the plane containing this vector and this A vector. Okay, so that is where I can write it as A resultant. Okay, A cross B is always equal to magnitude A, magnitude B sine theta into AR. Okay, so this is about the cross product and dot product that we have learned. So now let us move on to the next thing, dot product of unit vectors. So what will happen here? So here ax dot ax, so along x direction there will be a ax unit vector, along y direction there will be ay unit vector, along z direction there will be az unit vector. So now when I multiply this ax dot ax, say imagine, so unit vectors are always having magnitude as 1. So if I write that, what I can get, ax dot ax means it is unit vector ax is 1 dot unit vector ax is another 1 into cos of the angle between this ax and ax. That means the angle between x and x is going to be a 0 degrees. So that is equal to, so 1 into 1 into cos 0. Cos 0 is again 1. So I can write it as simply it is a 1. Now ay dot ay also the same thing. So it is going to be 1 dot 1 into cos 0 degree, which is equal to 1 itself. Az dot az, that is also 1 dot 1 into cos 0 degree, which is equal to 1. Whereas what is ax dot ay? So if you just look into ax dot ay, so they are orthogonal to each other. That means the angle between this and this is 90 degrees, right? So when it is 90 degrees, what we can get here, so 1 into cos 90 degrees. So what is cos 90? Cos 90 is 0. 0 into anything is 0. Similarly, ay dot az. So that is also 1 into cos 90 degrees, which is equal to 0. Similarly here, 1 into 1 cos 90 degrees, which is equal to 0. What happens if I interchange this x and y positions? Okay, so let us see here. ay dot ax, so this is going to be minus 90. Now reverse angle, right? It's minus 90 degrees, so I can get it as 1 dot 1 cos of minus 90. But you know what is cos of minus theta? Cos of minus theta is always cos theta. So keeping that in mind, we can again get a 0 here. Similarly here, 1 dot 1 into cos of minus 90 degrees, which is again a 0. So ax dot az is also cos minus 90 degrees. It's going to give me a 0. So that indicates that, so the dot product of same unit vector will always result in 1, whereas the dot product of the orthogonal vectors, that is perpendicular to each other vectors, will always yield a 0. Okay, and one more interesting thing that what we can notice here, so dot product obeys commutative law. Either you take ax dot ay or ay dot ax, it's not going to make any difference here. So dot product obeys commutative law. You can write here obey commutative law. Now let us look into the dot product of this is cross product. Just a minute. This is cross product here. Cross product of unit vectors. So when you look into the cross product of unit vectors, we can have your ax cross ax, but the equation says a cross b is equal to magnitude a magnitude b sine theta into a resultant vector. That resultant vector is perpendicular to both a and b. So now here, since I have ax cross ax, what is that? Ax cross ax means unit vector is 1 into sine of the angle between ax and ax, that is 0 degrees. Okay, so into resultant vector. What is the resultant here? X and x is in the same direction. So for that, either I can write ay or I can write az. Both will act as a unit vector. But here, since sine 0 is 0, so we can directly write this as 0. The same thing for ay dot ay. 1 dot 1 into sine 0, which is equal to 0. So here az cross az is equal to 1 into 1 into sine 0, which is equal to 0. But what happens to ax cross ay? So now let us see ax cross ay. We are moving in this direction. First I am writing ax and then I am writing ay. Okay, so when I am writing this ax cross ay, the resultant is going to be 1 into 1 into sine of, what is the angle? This is a positive angle, right? So when I'm moving in this direction, so it's going to be this is going to be a positive angle. So I'm going to get a sine 90 degrees. So when it is sine 90 is equal to 1. So the result is 1 here. Same thing for y cross z, ay cross az. See, again we are moving in positive direction. So it's going to be 90 degrees between this and this. So this is 1.1 into sine 90 degrees, which is equal to 1. Similarly, for z cross x, az cross ax is also, again we are moving in the same direction, positive, and this angle is going to be 90 degrees. So we can write it as 1.1 into sine 90 degrees, which is equal to 1. Okay, so now there is a unit vector multiplied here. What is that? So in ax cross ay, the unit vector perpendicular to that is going to be, just a minute. Now the unit vector here is perpendicular to x and y, that is going to be z. Perpendicular to this and this is going to be z. So that is where I'm going to write here az, which is equal to 1 into az. Similarly, for y and z, if I take y and z here, so this y and this z, if I take, the unit vector perpendicular to that is going to be the next axis, that is x. So here it is going to be ax. So this is 1 into ax, or simply we can write it as ax. Similarly, when I take z and x, so this z and this x, if I take, perpendicular to that is going to be y. So unit vector here it is ay. So I can write it as 1 into ay. Okay. So similarly, now let us work out with the reverse direction. Okay, so for that, what I'm doing here, ay cross ax. When I take ay cross ax, see, I'm working on this now. Ay cross ax means actually I'm moving in this direction. This direction is opposite to this direction, right? So this is a negative direction. That means this angle is going to be minus 90 degrees. This is minus 90 degrees. When I take sine of minus theta, it is going to be minus sine theta. As a result, what I can write, 1 into 1 into sine of minus 90 degrees, which is equal to minus 90 degree into the unit vector perpendicular to x and y, it is going to be z. So into az. So this all together I can write it as a minus az. Similarly, for z and y, if I just take z and y, this is z and y. I'm moving in this direction. This is negative direction. So here again minus 90 degrees. Moving from here to here, it gives you minus 90 degrees. So once again, it is going to be 1 into 1 into sine of minus 90 degrees into unit vector perpendicular to this and this. It's going to be ax. So that gives me minus ax. Similarly, the last one, that is ax cross az. So if you just take ax cross az, so this is moving from here to here. Okay, so this is again negative 90 degrees. So this is minus 90 degrees. We are moving in the opposite direction. So I can write it as 1 into 1 into sine of minus 90 into a unit vector perpendicular to this and this is going to be ay. So that gives me minus ay. If you just observe now, here, this, say ax cross ay cross az, az cross ax. So they are all giving positive values. Ay cross ax, az cross ay, ax cross az, they are giving negative values. So here, if I just relate, say this equation and this equation. So what I can get? Can I write ax cross ay is equal to ay cross ax, it's not possible, right? Because we have here positive az, here we have a negative az. That is the reason we can write it as minus of ay cross ax I can write. So I can conclude here, this cross product will not obey commutative law. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. Thanks for watching. For more videos, you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you.